Week 3 of the NFL season is now in the books. How did we go so wrong with Caleb Williams? Who's going to be the first coach fired? And is Josh Allen ready to go back to his hero ball ways? All that and more with your audience questions on this episode of the Kev BK Beloved Show. Hit my intro. All right, welcome back. We are doing episode of the audience questions today because honestly, I had nothing for this week and I really like next week's episode and didn't want to ruin it. So here we are, audience questions. If you want to submit your questions to the audience, Monday and or Tuesday after the games of the week, you are going to see all of the social platforms at BK Beloved. You will see a nice pretty picture in the story saying, ask me anything. You'll insert your question there. You can hear your question on the podcast just like this, or brand new special feature in the podcast description in the actual episode. So not on YouTube, got to go on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, whatever. You will see text the show. You can now text the show. The last two people that did text the show, they'll get their questions answered. So stay till the end if you want to see what that looks like. Cool. So without further ado, let's get to question 1, shall we? Question 1, when do you think Josh will try to play hero ball and start turning the ball over? So that's in reference to Josh Allen. Obviously, the Bills are now 3-0 after beating the absolute dog shit out the Jacksonville Jaguars. And my stupid ass bet the under on that game, thinking, the Bills haven't really been explosive offense. They've been more ball control. Josh Allen's been taking care of the ball. And then they went out there and they hit the over by themselves and absolutely eviscerated the Jaguars, who we'll get to later, but we're talking about the Bills right now. Most impressively, Josh Allen has managed to not turn the ball over at all. He is the leader in turnovers since he entered the league in 2018 with 103. That is 11 more than third place Baker Mayfield. Second is Jared Goff with 100, but we're not talking about him right now. But to add just a little more context to that, game 1 against the Arizona Cardinals, they have 3 total takeaways this year. The Dolphins have 3 total takeaways as well, and the Jaguars have 0. All 3 in the bottom half of the league as far as defense and EPA per play allowed. So are they playing spectacular defenses? No, but that hasn't stopped Josh Allen from turning the ball over before. We can be honest about that. Josh Allen has turned the ball over against defenses much worse than that. And the fact that he isn't now is to be commended. I got to give the man credit for it. I'm not here to discredit any single bit of it. Shout out to him. As far as to when I think that might go around, let me take a look at this schedule real quick. I had it in front of me. Here it is. They have the Ravens and Texans on the road 2 straight weeks. The first one of those is going to be on Sunday Night Football next week. I can't wait to preview that one. That one's going to be real fun. Haven't watched the film on either of those games yet, the last game, so we'll get there for a breakdown for that. If I had to guess, because the Ravens are in desperation mode right now, and that Bills run defense hasn't really been put to the test yet. Not really. Not as much as they could be. I mean, if the Ravens go out there and get out to an early lead, couple 3-and-outs on the offense for the Bills, they get down, let's say 10-0 halfway through the first, halfway through the second. I think then we may see the old Josh Allen start to creep up a little bit because you are who you are at the end of the day. I've enjoyed game manager Josh Allen. For the sake of me enjoying as a football fan, I do hope that he stays around and he fixes turnover issue and we get the best possible version of Josh Allen. That's great for the league. That's great for me as a fan. Awful for me as a Patriots fan because we already can't beat him. And if he's not turning the ball over, we stand no chance. But as a fan of the league, this is great. Thank you, Josh. Stop turning the ball over so we can have better competition. You know what I mean? But if I had to guess, when his back really gets against the wall in a way that it really hasn't been this year, he might revert back to his old ways. It remains to be seen, but that'll be my guess. Thanks for the question. Next question. What the fuck is going on in Jacksonville? They have the talent, but they can't win. So this reminds me of one of my favorite coach-isms, which is talent gets coaches fired. Because nothing gets a coach fired faster than people saying that team's really talented, but they do not win. The only logical answer is the coach. Or if the quarterback's just astronomically bad, then, they look towards the quarterback. but those are rare situations you see that. So we'll start with the coach, with Doug Peterson, offensive quote-unquote guru, was supposed to come in and fix Trevor Lawrence, and for about a year and a half it looked that way. But now we're in this season and they're 21.9% on third downs converting this year. That is dead last in the league with the supposedly generational quarterback. And when I had KT on for the AFC South preview, what we spent a lot of that time talking about was we shouldn't still be in wait and see mode with Trevor Lawrence. This is year 4. He just signed for $275 gajillion or whatever the contract extension ended up being. But yet here we are, and we're still asking the if question. I'm no longer asking the if question. I have my answer. Trevor Lawrence is not that guy. He just isn't. Let's say they do fire Doug Peterson by week 6 or whatever. Is whoever the interim head coach going to come in and fix all their problems? Is that the answer? Is Doug Peterson the only reason why they aren't able to win games? No. I've heard people try to blame Trevor Lawrence's failures on, oh, the receivers keep dropping passes and this and that and the third. And I feel you. I feel that. So I looked it up. You know, I like doing me a little bit of research. I went to Pro Football Reference. Do you know the Jaguars only have 4 drops on the season? For reference, the Cleveland Browns lead the league with 14. And we, rightfully, do not hesitate to call Deshaun Watson a bum every chance we get. Trevor Lawrence shall be getting the same treatment from me. He's been flatly a bum. Honestly, we have more proof that Trevor Lawrence isn't a good quarterback than we do that he has. I'm not going to say he's been terrible since he's entered the league. That would be a lie. But if we look at Trevor Lawrence's entire career, there's been moments of brilliance and wow, what a great throw. That looks really impressive on film. But it hasn't materialized itself into wins and losses. And I know some of you nerds are in the whole wins on the QB stat thing. Yes, they are. Yes, the fuck they are. If you're mad at me, argue a Pro Football Reference who has it listed as a stat with QB record. And I'm looking at his, he is 20-33. 8-8 last year, 9-8 the year before, 3-14 his rookie year were Urban Meyer. He's a 500 quarterback. Even worse, if the coaching situation's horrendous, he is 0-3 now. He is who he is, man. And the Jaguars are tied to pay him a boatload of money for the rest of time. Good luck with that. So that's your answer. Trevor Lawrence just ain't that guy, and it's about time all of us start to admit it. Next question. Was the missed PI no call during the KC Atlanta game worse than a no call versus New Orleans versus the Rams? Okay, let's calm down. Let's calm down. That was easily the most egregious missed call ever. I'm talking about the Saints and Rams one, not the KC Falcons one. That was meh. So for y'all that don't remember, the Saints and Rams won. That was the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl. So let's call it 2018 going into the 2019 Super Bowl. And fourth quarter, one of the Saints receivers went out for some type of out route. And the Rams DB just straight up tackled him. And even he was waiting for the flag. He looked around. He was like, word? All right, cool. And he just kept it pushing. If the video component, if you're watching this, I'll see if I can put the video here without it getting taken down. But what you don't remember from that game is that the Saints still kicked the field goal, took it to overtime, got the ball first, didn't get the first down or convert on that first drive. The Rams got the ball and then went and scored. So when I always say the refs are not to blame for you losing the game, number one, they shouldn't have been down trying to tie with a field goal anyways. You have Drew Brees as a starting quarterback. Secondly, you had ample opportunity even after that to still go and win the game, and you didn't. What are we even talking about now? But anyways, that's enough on that. So to the actual KC Atlanta Falcons games. That's the second time in 2 weeks that has happened. With the KC got the call last week where the Bengals dude just clearly ran into their receiver and they got the call, and then this week they didn't get the call. So I get how it looks. It looks bad. And I'm not even going to tell you whether one is a pass interference and which one isn't. I'm always going to go on the same side I'm always on. Referees suck. They suck in every single sport. They always suck. And if you're relying on refs to win a game, especially against the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, it's not going to turn out well for you, because you have to rely on your performance to win that game. If not, you're fucked. And the Falcons found that out. They were fucked. And yet and still, they still had a chance to pull that game out at the end. And they decided they were going to run some weird toss on 4th down and lose like 5 yards in a play that only was rivaled by the Bears earlier that day, and we'll get to the Bears later, but still. So no, that's not a bad call, and late game pass interferences are iffy anyways. Like, if there were 2 games last year that came to mind. If you remember the Giants and Bills game last year when Tyrod Taylor came in and he threw what we thought was a game-winning touchdown, but Darren Waller got pass interfered, didn't get called. Literal last-second touchdown, 4th down play. Game over. Bills came out, kneeled the ball, no call. The Chiefs, Kansas City. They tried to get a 1st down to get in field goal range or whatever it was against the Packers last year. They didn't get the call on a pass interference last year. No call, game over. So the pass interferences late in games are weird with everybody. It's just that the Chiefs are a national team, so people think that favors them. As a lifelong Patriots fan, I watch it happen with us all the time. It's like, no, refs don't favor us. Refs suck with every single game. Y'all just are always watching us because we're good. And the same thing is happening with the Chiefs right now. The saying originally is, you got to play better than the ref's ref. But also when it comes to the Chiefs, they aren't going to beat themselves. So you can't beat yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put yourself in position to cause stupid penalties or throw in the super tight windows and make it look iffy, or even bring it down to the point where you can even need that last second touchdown to try and win the game. No, no, you have to win by 14 to win by 3. That's how it works against these type of teams. And if you don't know that, that's on you. Thank you for the question. Next question, is it time for the Raiders to panic? They got obliterated by the Panthers. Okay, so two parts there. Number one, I don't think the Raiders are panicking at all because I don't know what the hell their expectations were. If you were to tell me if I'm the Raiders, I'd be 1-2 at the start of this season, I'd expect they'd be 1-2 because they would have lost their first 2 and they'd be getting their first win now. So hey, they're still 1-2 at the start of their 3. Only person I know that thought the Raiders would be better was Anton, who came on here when we were doing the AFC West and said they were going to the Super Bowl. I'm not that delusional, so I didn't think they were going to go that far. And the second part of that is Antonio Pierce seemed pretty pissed after the game, rightfully so, and was saying people on the team was making business decisions, so he's going to make business decisions. And for someone whose whole calling card was, I'm motivating my team and I'm going to get them to play as hard as possible, for it to be week 3 and that's already the discussion, not great. Not great at all. So keep an eye on that one. Just put a pin in that. We'll just put a pin in it and we'll see how that goes from here. But the bigger story from that game is definitely the Panthers, who, shit, myself included, was calling them all types of dysfunctional. This offense is this, the weapons around them is that. They allowed a 15% pressure rate on offense all year long going into last game, but they allowed 3 sacks a game. For y'all that don't do the whole analytics thing, that's the numbers way of saying the sacks are not the offensive line's fault, because pressure is calculated by pressure allowed in the first 3 seconds of the quarterback having the ball. So if you still get sacked with your pressure rate being that low, that means your quarterback's holding the ball for too damn long. So sub out Bryce, put in Andy Dalton, who's known for getting rid of the ball fast and is a long-time NFL veteran and can run any offense you put in front of him because he's been on 1,000 different teams. All of a sudden, things start to look crisper. Things are going. Decisions are quick. Things start to look functional. And that's the result we ended up getting. So I'm not fully on Bryce is done, he's a bust, he's this, he's that. And I still believe everything I thought about the Panthers from an organizational David Tepper standpoint, but the offense is not nearly as bad as I thought. Offensive line wise and receiver wise. And I like Chuba Hubbard too, but still. Thanks for the question. How were we so wrong about the Bears and Caleb Williams? All right, first, thank you. This is our first text the show question, so thank you for that. Secondly, were we wrong about Caleb, or were we wrong about the situation? I feel like people who didn't like Caleb Williams want us to be wrong about Caleb so bad already. I'm like, nigga, it's week 3. Calm down. If it's year 4 for Trevor Lawrence, our last generational quarterback prospect, and we're just now starting to say that we're wrong about him. God damn it. I think Caleb deserves 4 games at least if we're going to give Trevor 4 years. Anyways. So we were wrong about the Bears situation as I'm seeing it now, because there's been plenty of bright spots with Caleb when he's not getting his brains beaten in behind that offensive line. So I say we because I was in this too, and we said this is the best situation that a number one quarterback has ever been into. And is there some truth to that? Sure, because number one teams that are picking number one overall are typically dog shit, and the Bears defense is still as good as we thought it was. We were hyped up on the receivers. And this is before I get to the bad part that we ignored. Don't worry, we'll get there. We were hyped up on the receivers, right? Keenan Allen they traded for. He's hurt now, but even before, there were reports that he was coming into camp overweight. And I thought, it's overblown. He'll play himself into shape, this, that, and the third. Until I watched, I want to say it was the Bills preseason game on film, and oh, buddy, he looked slow. Slow. And then the Titans game, it looked worse. So I'm like, oh, okay. He looks slow. And they were trying to force feed him the ball anyways, because traded for Keenan Allen, gave him an extension, trying to get your guy the ball. So that's not working out so far. For whatever reason, DJ Moore and Caleb Williams have yet to been able to get on the same page. I think the whole DJ Moore didn't want Caleb Williams thing is overblown. I know that clip keeps going around of him saying, I want to keep Justin. Why would we trade? I would like to remind everybody that was like week 13 of last year. They asked him that question. Justin Fields was still his quarterback at the time. What the fuck was he supposed to say? Oh yeah, get him up out of here. The guy that has to throw me the ball still for another 5 weeks. Oh yeah, get him out of here. Bring in the guy from USC who I've never met. Come on now. What did y'all expect? But now, last game, I think we're finally starting to see that Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams connection blossom that we all thought that it was going to. Because, they were training all offseason. Obviously, they came and drafted together. Last game, ended up having 6 receptions, 112 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty damn good. So I do think that things are turning around in the receiver department. Cole Kmet was able to get involved, so that's a good part. That's a good part too. At some point, DJ Moore's too talented, Caleb Williams too talented. They'll figure it out at some point. The problems that we ignored with the Bears was the coaching staff and the offensive line. I don't know why we just assumed that Shane Waldren was going to be the guy who could shepherd Caleb Williams in and properly usher him into the league. And I think it was Jackson Smith and Jigba who said it either at the Super Bowl media row, where when he was asked about Shane Waldron going to the Bears. I'm gonna see if I can find the clip, man. Hold on.
Bears fans are super interested about the offensive coordinator coming in, Shane Waldron. What can you tell them about who they just hired to try to get this offense where it needs to go?
This is live?
Yeah, we're not live.
I'm playing. Good luck to y'all. I mean, he's a great person.
Okay, good. So that we should have known at that moment, okay, something's up with Shane Waldron. And then Matt Eberflus was on the hot seat last year to get fired, but somehow was able to keep his job. The defensive turnaround last year, I think he got credited with a lot of that. Whether he should or shouldn't have remains to be seen, but he did get credited with a lot of it. So that's just 2 glaring flaws right there. And I have to ask the question from a coaching staff standpoint, if they just would have fired Matt Eberflus and hired Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick, would we be talking about this right now? I'd venture to say the answer to that question is no. But the other part that makes me say that we would still be is this offensive line is so god awful. Oh my God. I thought they'd be serviceable because they were really bad last year under Justin Fields. But towards the second half of the season, they started to improve too, just like the rest of the team. So I'm thinking it's going to carry over. Talk to Usad on the show. He liked what he was seeing. And I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. There's progress being made on behalf of the Bears offensive line. Apparently not. They have allowed 49 pressures and 13 sacks. They are beating the dog shit out of Caleb Williams this year. It has been a rough start to the year for our guy Caleb. So am I saying that he's been perfect so far? No, of course not. But the situation around him damn sure ain't helping. So were we wrong about Caleb? No. At least not yet. If we're sitting here by year 4 in a Trevor Lawrence situation, I don't stay attached to my takes. If we're here year 4 and he sucks, I will tell you he sucks. But if I'm from what I see on tape, the adjustments are being made. The plays are being made. He just threw for the highest yard total of any quarterback this past season. You know what I'm saying? Like, Caleb's star is going up. When the offense is actually being run quick games so the offensive line can't get him killed, you see the bright spots showing. When Keenan Allen is back and fully integrated and hopefully in shape, they'll be able to piece stuff together. I still have faith in Caleb Williams because there's no reason it should be shaken. The talent is there. But god damn it, just try not to get him killed in the process. Thanks for the question. All right. Last question of the podcast. I know it's a little shorter today. That's on me. I got y'all next week. Next week is going to be excruciatingly long, so trust me, we'll be fine. Since the Saints might actually be good, who is going to be the first coach fired? First of all, not sure if you saw the Eagles game or not, but I'm not 100% out on Dennis Allen being the first coach fired still. I'm still holding out hope that my bet for Dennis Allen as first coach fired may still cash. So I'm still holding it out. But let me see where the odds are right now. Damn, he's not even in the top 5. Okay. So odds on leaders are Mike McCarthy, Doug Peterson, Brian Daboll, Kevin Stefanski, Matt Eberflus. I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to get fired during the season unless the Cowboys season goes to complete shit, and I'm not there yet. Brian Daboll, I don't know, man. That's tough for me. I've always gone back and forth about he's the reason Daniel Jones got extended because he made him look so good. He's also the reason Daniel Jones got extended, and they're stuck with that contract, which fucks over the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's the double-edged sword, but I don't think any of us really have questions that whether he's a good coach or not. I think all of us would say yes. And if they were to fire him, he's definitely getting another job. Shit. The way the Patriots offense is looking, I'd gladly take him as the offense coordinator for the Pats if he doesn't get a head coach job. Kevin Stefanski, we all know Deshaun Watson's the problem there. If the Browns end up firing him, we're not getting rid of Deshaun Watson. You can't make it work, so I'll find somebody who can, which will just be the dumbest shit possible, which probably means is exactly what the Browns are going to do. And then Matt Eberflus. Firing Matt Eberflus is pretty much tanking your season if you're the Bears. Because rookie quarterback, head coach is now fired is like your whole season's gone to shit. We're throwing Caleb Williams' rookie season away, and that's tough to admit defeat on. Doug Peterson, for me, would be the odds-on favorite to be first coach fired now. He's plus 400 if you want to go scoop that up. Yeah, he's the only one I can see realistically getting fired. If I'm being frank, every coach in that top 5, with the exception of Kevin Stefanski, I'd put pretty good money on will not be coaching that team starting next season. I'm be honest. I don't think any of them are going to be coaching that team starting next season. That's just me. But anyways, thank you everybody for the questions. Shorter episode this week. Dearest apologies. But topics are slim this week. Next week's episode is going to be the team report card episode. If you're listening this deep in the podcast, congratulations. You are one of the few people who are going to hear this announcement first. So the concept is just like there's 4 quarters in a school year, there's 4 quarters in an NFL season. Every 4 weeks, I'll be grading NFL teams based on the questions we asked in the off season. So off season before the season started, and in every single season preview. All of those are in a playlist. So if you want to go watch those, feel free. Or you can wait till next week for the much longer podcast, which is going to be awesome. So I've been Kev BK Beloved. This has been the Kev BK Beloved Show. Thank you so much for listening.